Hello, YOUquest family. Have you ever stood in front of an open suitcase or a bag that you're trying to pack for a trip thinking, what am I forgetting? Or even thinking, how am I going to fit everything I need into this suitcase or this bag? Or are you that person that packs way too much because you're worried you might need something while you're gone? Or you wait until the night before a trip and then suddenly feel incredibly overwhelmed to make sure you don't forget something? If that's you, I promise you, you are not alone. And if you stick with me until the end, today I'm going to give you a tool that is going to help make packing for future trips so much easier and help take a ton of stress and anxiety out of that process. Tell me in the comments, are you a carry-on only traveler if you fly back and forth to wherever you're going? Or are you the person who packs everything you need just in case you need it? Tell me in the comments. I myself have recently learned that packing a carry-on makes it so much easier to be able to get to your next destination without having to wait at the baggage claim to get your bags. But carry-ons require a special kind of packing because you need this travel size options. And if you don't have that, then you need to use a checked bag. I've actually been spending the last few days trying to pack for two back-to-back trips. We have an extended weekend starting tomorrow, and then I fly to a networking event next week on Monday. So we get back late on Sunday, and I have to leave bright and early before the sun even comes up Monday morning. One of the events being a family celebration and reunion full of boating and swimming and outdoor activities, campfires. And the second next week is a networking event where it's going to be in 100 plus degree weather with flights and conference rooms that get cold and even a pool party. And as I was looking at everything that I thought I needed for both of these trips, I realized something. The stress I was experiencing trying to figure out how I was going to pack for everything and remember everything that I needed for both trips, the stress wasn't actually coming from packing. The stress was coming from all the decisions I was trying to make. So when you're packing for a trip, overwhelm isn't about the stuff you're trying to pack. I think so many people believe that we're overwhelmed because we have too much to do. And yeah, that might be the case. But a lot of times we're overwhelmed because we're trying to make too many decisions all at once, especially if you're packing for a trip and even back-to-back trips. You're thinking, what if it rains? What if I need another outfit? What if I don't feel like wearing that outfit that day and I change my mind? And the biggest one for me has always been, what if I forget something? I don't want to forget something. Heaven forbid I have to go to the store to buy something if I forget it. And having all those thoughts before you know it, you're packing 5 extra outfits that you're never even going to pull out of your bag. Well, the same thing happens in life. We overthink. We second guess ourselves. We try to prepare for every possible scenario that you can't possibly be prepared for everything that's going to happen. So instead of feeling more prepared, we actually feel more anxious. because we're trying to think of all these scenarios that are probably never even going to happen. Who can relate to that? Put it in the comments if you can. Confidence comes from being able to trust yourself. And that's one thing I teach inside of my YOUquest program is that confidence isn't something that you magically wake up with. You build it through trusting yourself, through trusting yourself with the decisions that you make that you can handle whatever comes from them. It's trusting yourself to figure things out. So when I travel now, I remind myself, if I forget something, I'll figure it out. I'll go to the store and I'll get what I need. If the weather changes, I'll make do with what I have. If I need something that badly, I can go buy it. And just having that simple thought process, that simple mindset shift, if you will, that changes so much and it decreases so much anxiety around packing and making sure that you have everything that you need. And then suddenly you don't feel the need to have to prepare for every possible outcome. And you trust yourself to be able to handle whatever comes from the clothes you decided to pack. What's one thing that you tend to over prepare for because you're afraid something might go wrong? Whether it's in packing for a trip or a life situation, what's one thing you over prepare for when you really don't need to be? Because you're anticipating what the future might bring. Put it in the comments. So, what's my simple packing method? This is what I do now instead. And like I said, it takes so much stress off of packing. I don't start by packing clothes. What I do is I start by packing for the events that are going to be happening while I'm gone. And I ask myself, what am I actually doing on this trip? For example, travel days. There's going to be 2 travel days because you got to get to your destination and back home from your destination. I am okay with wearing the same outfit on the to and from travel days. Maybe change a tank top, have plenty of layers because riding in a car for 9 hours is going to be chilly. So have layers to be able to put on and take off if you need. Same thing with a flight. It gets chilly for me on flights, so I bring layers. And again, I'm okay with wearing the same outfit on those travel days. Then what's happening? Are you having a family event? Is there going to be a pool day or a lake day? Are you going to be going hiking? What are you actually doing on that trip? Will there be a networking day or several networking days? Are you going to have dinner out or around the campfire? These are all questions you ask yourself so that you're packing for the events that you're going to. Once you know what events you're going to be going to, then build your outfits around those activities. And it's okay to wear the same leggings a couple days with a different top. People aren't going to notice. If they do, they have too much time on their hands. And then when every activity has an outfit, stop. Stop packing. Don't keep adding just in case outfits. This is one of my favorite packing rules because I've been doing a lot more packing in these last few months. And I've already hinted towards this. If I wouldn't mind wearing that outfit twice, I don't need another version. That one rule saves so much space in your suitcase or your bag. You have no idea. And quite honestly, when you are stressing yourself out packing for a trip, it's not just about the packing. It's really about trusting yourself and then feeling the need to have to look outside of yourself for reassurance or for validation. Questioning, am I doing enough? Did I make the right decision? What if I fail? The more you learn to trust yourself, the less exhausting life becomes. The less exhausting packing becomes if you're someone that has to pack for a lot of trips. So whether it's packing for a trip, having a tough conversation, trying something new that you've wanted to do, setting a boundary, or making a really difficult decision, the goal is to trust yourself enough to be able to handle it. Whatever comes from that decision, whatever comes from that conversation. Now, remember at the beginning, I said I'd give you something that makes packing easier. I've created a very simple Chat GPT prompt for packing that you can copy and paste before any trip. All you need to enter is the prompt and then some minor details about where you're going, what the weather's going to be like, and activities you're going to be doing. This prompt, once you fill out those minor details, it creates a personalized packing list for you. Personalized, where you get mix and match outfits, travel day recommendations, and even a checklist to help reduce packing stress. So if you'd like me to send you that prompt, all you need to do is comment pack as you're listening, and I'll send it over. And before you go, tell me what's one thing that you always pack too much of? For me, it's tops, but I'm curious. What's one thing you always pack too much of? And I want to thank you very, very much for spending a few minutes with me today. And I want to remind you that confidence isn't about never forgetting something. It's about trusting yourself enough to know that you can figure it out, whatever happens. Have an amazing day. And if you'd like that packing prompt, comment pack so I can get it to you.